College football realignment has blown up in a huge way. The Pac-12 has just found a way to come back from the dead, taking the best teams from the Mountain West. What will the Mountain West do now with only 8 teams? Who's going to join the Pac-12? What's going to happen with the ACC down the road? All those questions will be answered in this video. I'm going to give you all my takes. Let me know. I'm going to tell you all the teams that could join, what's going to happen in the Mountain West. All that will be answered in this video. Anyway, let's talk about this new Pac-12, the Pac-6, right? That originally had Oregon State and Washington State. People are saying, oh, they might just integrate with the Mountain West, or the Big Ten could pick them back up. But instead, before any of that could happen, the Pac-12 commissioner made a huge move, called up the Mountain West team. Of course, Oregon State and Washington State probably had a lot to do with it too. I'm sure the Pac-12 commissioner had a talk with both of them saying, hey, is this cool if we do it? And they're like, yes, we love this conference. We want to see it alive again. Of course, Oregon State and Washington State, the big two left in this conference. And so they bring on the best 4 teams, football-wise, into the Pac-12. So you have Boise State, historically very good football program, been wanting to join the Pac-12 for a long time, finally do. Then you have Colorado State, Fresno State, and San Diego State. I'm personally rooting for the Pac-12. I love to see the conference back again. I loved it regionally. I'm a Michigan State fan. Love the Big Ten. But to see it expand to the West, it's cool. We can see exciting games. The Pac-12 was such a cool conference and how it was. Realignment myself. I'm iffy on the subject. Obviously, I love to see bigger games, but to see like classic rivalries just leave, it's kind of sad to see. But I'm excited for this new Pac-12 and see what it could do. And let's get into what happened to the Mountain West now. Only with 8 teams, there's rumors that now Air Force could join to the AAC to join Navy and Army. Now that is a possibility. Expect that to happen relatively soon. College realignment for the next 2 years, I say, stays quiet for the most part. That is one of the teams that I says does happen in the next 2 years. Air Force going to the AAC. Expect that very soon. And if so, Mountain West is down to 7 teams. They have to stress out. But right now, if I'm the Mountain West commissioner, I'm gathering the 8 teams you have left, trying to convince them, hey, the core is strong. I know what I'm going to do. And convince the major players left not to freak out, not to leave, and one of those teams, I'll get into a little bit later, but convince them to really stay. They could be the new powerhouse in this new conference. But if I'm the Mountain West commissioner, I think he's going to call out to the FCS schools, like Idaho to replace Boise State, call up all the Dakota teams. But if I'm those teams, they have historically not wanted to join FBS, so I think they're cool in FCS right now. But if the Mountain West goes down to 7, loses Air Force, expect the FCS schools to maybe move up for once. And the Mountain West, that's a scary conference right now if I was them. But here's a team from the Mountain West. If Air Force leaves and it's down to 7, I think some Mountain West teams could freak out. And one of those teams that has historically been good football-wise and is a program that's on the up is UNLV. UNLV is a huge TV market on the Pac-12. It has Las Vegas. And historically in football, at least this year, it's been really good. The program's going up. Let me just show you what UNLV has been up to this past 3 weeks of college football. Stuff that's just insane. So let's look at their schedule. UNLV, I had them pulled up. They beat Houston on the road, 27-20. It wasn't even a game. Then took on Utah Tech. They're not a Division I school, but even so, beat them 72-14. Then went on the road to face Jalen Daniels and Kansas. Some people were projecting Kansas this year, and beat them 23-20. This would be a huge get for the Pac-12 to get UNLV. Don't expect them to come right away. Usually teams come as a pack of 2, and UNLV, I'd say waits a few good years because the Pac-12 has to pay a crap load of money to the Mountain West for the exit fees. So I'd say wait till 2026 and for the Pac-12 to get 8. I'm going to explain the other 2 teams that I think will make up the Pac 8 by then because you need 8 teams to be a conference. I expect 2 more teams to join by then. I think the Pac-12, it's going to be Pac-8, will be a conference of 8 teams in 2026. UNLV could make that jump though in 2026 after that 1 year once the Pac-12 starts to finally get in that money from whatever TV deal they get. And I think they offer UNLV to make that jump to the Pac-12. Now, I say jump, it's not a huge jump. It is a better conference than the Mountain West. You have the best of the Mountain West. It's going to be the best out of the group. That's with technically Pac-6. My dad's sending me stuff. Uh-oh. It's a snap. He sends goofy stuff of himself every day. I didn't say that, though. But anyway, UNLV would be a huge get for the Pac-12. Expect that in around 2026. Then, of course, the 2 teams that you guys have been waiting for that are going to make up the 8 teams that the Pac-12 needs by 2026 is Tulane and Memphis. Expect this to happen very relatively soon. I mean, this has been all over the news. Watched so many videos of rumors of what teams could go. I've seen Rice, I've seen UTSA. Rice is good academically. UTSA historically has been good at football, but this year has not been so good. I've seen North Texas. I've seen South Florida. I think Tulane and Memphis are the 2 biggest gets. Memphis just recently beat Florida State in football. They're 3-0. They could be a sneaky good football team. In basketball, historically they've been good. Pac-12 historically has not been really a basketball conference. They've never really been. They've been okay. Some teams have had success, like UCLA, but historically they're not really a basketball conference. They're more of a football conference, and I think that's what they're trying to build here, but also have some good academics. Of course, Tulane historically has been good football-wise, but this year they're on the ropes, not having a good season. Their quarterback has made some critical mistakes. They've had some close games, just not gone their way. But expect Tulane and Memphis to get that call, and they're going to join the Pac-12 to make it the Pac-8 by 2026. Now, some people say the Pac-12 could call FCS schools. I don't think that's going to happen. I think money-wise, they just take Tulane and Memphis, get 8 by 2026. They're going to take the slow road. I know everyone wants things really fast. They want news quick. I don't think that's going to happen. But if Air Force goes to the AAC, UNLV could join in that 2026 range. And the 2027 season, the same year that 2027 season happens, 2 teams that are going to be watching this new conference, this conference of 8 teams, very closely, in my opinion, are Cal and Stanford. Cal and Stanford, of course, were cornerstones of that Pac-12. In my opinion, I think they would love to come back for those historic. I mean, California, you'd have San Diego State versus Stanford, and San Diego State versus California. I think those games would go crazy. Fresno State in that mix as well. The California rivalries would just be really good football-wise. I think that would bring life to this new conference as well. Academically, I feel like these conferences would want to go back, just seeing how the ACC does business, how they do their money, just the mess of it, Clemson and Florida State and their court stuff. I think they want out, especially when that 2027 season deal ends. They're going to want it. They're going to want to leave. So I think they call up the Pac-12, and the Pac-12 is going to open them back with open arms. And then this team, by 2028, is going to be back at 10 teams. And the Pac-12 is going to be watching that Mountain West very closely just to see how, like other teams do, like Nevada, New Mexico State, New Mexico, just to see. New Mexico State, New Mexico, historically, football are very bad. Wyoming, too. New Mexico and New Mexico State have found some success in basketball, but not much. So these were my predictions. I'm only going up to the year of 2028. I expect Stanford and California to be back. I expect Tulane and Memphis to join. And then UNLV could be a key team to join this conference eventually. But they would need probably one more. You don't want to be an uneven conference because with that, Tulane and Memphis, that'd be 8. That 10. UNLV, that's 11. They'd have to find someone else. Maybe you bring along Nevada with it. I have seen some people say UNLV can't leave Nevada, but I just don't think that's true because you have, Louisville and Kentucky, they're in different conferences. You can make it work. You don't need a conference team between, obviously, Michigan State make it work, but you don't need a conference game between 2 in-state rivals. It just, historically, you don't need it. So, those are my predictions. Let me know. Do I sound right? What other teams could join this Pac-12? What could happen to the Mountain West by this ACC collapse? Will happen in 2027? Let me know your predictions, where I went right, where I went wrong. Thank you guys so much for your listening. More podcast episodes coming soon. So much football to talk about. Gonna have some special guests eventually. And thank you guys so much for listening. See you in the next one.